talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Mic check. All right, we're good. We're good. Let me mute that before I start hearing myself echoing. What is up, everybody? Let me take a drink. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday evening. It's game week. I hope everybody's excited about that. And we got a depth chart to check out. So we're going to check out that depth chart. We're actually going to check out Duquesne's depth chart too. I want to look at Duquesne's depth chart. I don't know nothing about any of their players, but let's just look at the size of their players and, you know, all those good things that we like to look at. So we're going to look at Duquesne. We're going to look at, of course, our depth chart. And are there any surprises, shocks? I don't know. Let's check that out. But as always, before we get into all of that, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy POLK, a.k.a. 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 the goddamn truth. Seminole Nation, Florida State family, and the 863 tribe. What is going on with you? And we got a new member, Marcus Lewis. Marcus has been around for a while, but all of a sudden he's a member. Shout out to Marcus for becoming a new member of the 863 tribe. But before we get into the depth chart, y'all, before we talk about this upcoming game Saturday, y'all know what we do. We're going to hit that roll call. And before we hit that roll call, hit my like button, ring my doorbell, all that good stuff. Let's pay the bills real quick. Hit my like button, share the video, let everybody know we are live on a Tuesday. We don't usually do Tuesdays, but I thought I was going to do last night. You know, I was too tired last night to do it. I had just drove 14 hours from Kentucky. Too tired. But here we are, Tuesday, talking depth chart. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Share the video. Let them know we are live tonight talking Florida State football. And like Marcus said, let's get the lights up. 45 people should have 45 likes is the way I see it. We 10 short. Let's hit this roll call real quick and we'll revisit the likes. Joel, well, you know what? Some of these comments, are actually from yesterday. So y'all were commenting yesterday around this time. But anyway, don't matter. Joel Howard in the building. Raymond Bode. Chris Robinson, Champs 99, Mayan King, John Shields, Island Boy, Adang Bay, Jamal M, No Blooded, Priscilla Chestnut, EMG, Peter Shields, member of the 863 tribe, 904 Davis, No Blooded, VJ, member of the 863 tribe, Seminole 954, Hannes Nick, New King, No Power, Tyler Hedden, member of the 863 tribe, Marcus Lewis, the newest member of the 863 tribe, 226 Tim, Richard Pirate. Am I saying that right? Stroking the Flame, and R. Davius Hall. I want to shout out a special person tonight. William Washington in the building. What's going on? And I don't usually do this, but this guy, he if you're watching, Mr. Let me find you. Mr. Brandon Gibson. If you're watching, you're an idiot. And I want you to know you're an idiot for commenting on FSU's official depth chart. Assuming I guess this young man, old man, middle-aged man, clown of a man, that's what we'll go with. I guess this clown thought that I put that depth chart out. And he says, terrible projection coming from a supposedly FSU fan. Why is Johnny Wilson not starting? He's by far best wide receiver from all accounts. Well, apparently, Mike Norvell and company feel differently from a supposedly FSU coach. Then he also says, also McDonald isn't playing. You should do some real homework. So I just wanted to shout you out, Brandon, because in all my time, that might have been the dumbest comment I've ever received. So I felt like you deserved a shout out there. So shout out to you, my friend. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Kusami Hayes in the building with the 199. Appreciate you, Kusami. He says, yo, it's game week, Kusami. Let's go.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Zuki D. Thomas, Adrian Paulden was good. And Panama says, I respect Duquesne, but as Chris Carter say, come on, man, this shouldn't even be a close game. Island Boy in the building. Okay, let's do it, y'all. Hold up, let me check my likes real quick. I see Tyler laughing or David. Hey, man, I had to shout that comment out. The man got mad at me because of what the coaches put out. That was the first one, so I had to shout him out. I hope he's watching. Anyway, what was I about to do? I was about to do something. I forgot that quick. I forgot. Bro, you gotta do my homework, man. Let's not wait. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the likes. Let's check the likes before we get started with this depth chart. 53 people in the building, 55, 45. Y'all want to stay 10 behind. That means there's 10 haters out there. Y'all keep watching though. Appreciate y'all. All right, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get it stroking. I'm gonna put the depth chart up here. Here we go. I'm gonna put the depth chart up here. And let's get talking about it. Apparently this is my depth chart, by the way. But anyway, there it is. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, I can see it on my end. Hopefully you can see it. If you can't, okay, here we go. Actually, let me stroke the flame. I'm gonna take you off the screen here. Hold on, so people can see the bottom there. All right. Of course, Jordan Travis is quarterback QB1. Tate and Duffy. No surprises there, right? Running back, you have Trayshawn and Trey Benson. And then Toafili and Rodney. So I'm gonna just go through, and then we'll actually talk about if there's any surprises or what's raising the eyebrow. Matter of fact, let me take off this game week banner. There we go. Now we're really cooking with fish grease. We'll just go through the depth chart, and then we'll go back through and talk about what's interesting and not. So yeah, Trayshawn Ward, Trey Benson, and then of course, last year they listed it as a tailback. For whatever reason, this is listed as 2 running back spots. I don't know if that really matters, but you got Lawrence and Rodney. Wide receiver, Micah Pittman and Portier. Wide receiver 2, Ontario and Deuce. Wide receiver 3, Malik and Johnny. I don't think how I read that is actually how it's listed. What I think is I think you got X, Z, and Y. So I think you got 1, 3, and 2. I think the slot is listed second. But we'll come back. New development here this year. 2 tight ends. What does that mean? We'll talk about that. But you got Cam McDonald, who a lot of people thought might not play. He hasn't participated in the fall from everything I've heard. He was in a boot. But he's on the depth chart. So we'll see how that plays out. Cam and Wyatt Rector. Then the other tight end spot, Marcus and Douglas. I never thought I'd see his name on the depth chart, but apparently here it is. Preston Daniels and Jackson West. Left tackle, Robert Scott and Julian Armella. Left guard, Dylan Gibbons and Estes. Center, Darius and Schrader. Right guard, Dimitri Manuel or Justin Turrentine. And then right tackle, Bless Harris. Man, I got to take the other banner off. Well, let's do it so y'all can actually see. Because I don't even know. I think it's Lloyd Willis backing up Bless, actually. Yes, it is. And then we move over to the defensive side of the ball. McClendon or Jared Verse. We'll talk about that. I would hate to say I told you so, but maybe I told you so. Fabian Lovett, Jarrett Jackson, Robert Cooper, Malcolm Ray, or Joshua Farmer. Briggs, Leonard Warner, or Patrick Payton. Deloach Lundy, Bethune Gaynor, Knowles Vance. Timmy, where you at? We're going to talk about that nickel spot. Omarion Cooper, AZ, or Sam, Akeem, Jaquez, Jamie, Shaheem, Ronaldo, and Jarian. So there's your depth chart, man. Before we get to the nitty gritty, let's see what y'all saying in the comments. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about the depth chart? Any surprises? Anything that stands out from you in that depth chart? By all means, let me know. What's the latest injury? As you see, he wasn't on the depth chart, and I think he's hurt. I think Jakai's hurt. I think that's why he's not on the depth chart. I don't know if they've officially announced anything on Jakai. Strokins doesn't think there's any surprises with the starters. Or David says, I'm confused. Why is LT name in bold if he is the third string? Or maybe I'm looking at that wrong. LT Tofili? So remember, there's 2 running back positions. Last year they labeled it as a running back and a tailback, and this year they're labeling both positions at running back. Put it like this. Let me simplify it. Trayshawn Ward's your starting running back. Travis J, Demore Tate, it's over and gone. Hit the portal. I told y'all about Demore. I don't know if I'm ready to give up on Travis J, though. I think you can all but put a fork in Demore. I hate to say it like that, but wouldn't shock me. I'm not ready to put a fork in Travis J just yet. Rod did not make the depth chart. Called Bless starting on the right. They must feel good about Deuce running that slot with Pittman. This is exactly what I expected. Okay. CV says he's a hater at the moment. I mean, you're a Gator fan, so we expect it. I'm going to make you work for my like. Got you. Did you see our UF guy, Eugene Wilson, going X Games mode in his first game? Did not. Jazz at backup guard is something I didn't think of. We'll talk about Jazz here in a minute. Cam was at practice today. Okay, that's good. Timmy says, I hope you all know this depth chart is only for the Duquesne game. Obviously, they release a depth chart before every game. So I think everybody's aware of that, Timmy. I think. If you're not, Timmy just gave you a good little nugget. Armella might be the biggest surprise. Great surprise, though. Douglas has a broken collarbone, which means he's probably done for the year if that's the case. Depth chart is the coaching staff playing possum. So what do you not agree with, Zoe? If you think this is the coaching staff playing possum, what do you think is wrong or in disguise? If I, like, where are they playing possum at? I think Travis J is a little banged. Hate it for Keyshawn. Atkins was getting in Amrala ass on those practice clips. And Mayan King, please don't tell me. So you guys have a lot of thoughts. Let me take Mayan King comment off. Does Buck equal linebacker or safety? Buck. That's so from where they have it listed, Buck's the same as your strong safety, which would be your in the box guy. Even though Dent don't really play in the box, so I don't know why they label it as a Buck, but it's definitely more of a safety than a backer, definitely. So yeah. If they knew that we wouldn't be writing off Demore, and that's not true. That's nothing. The depth chart doesn't necessarily have anything to do with why I'm writing off Demore tape. I mean, 3 years of not ever seeing the field has more to do with why I would write off Demore tape. Says DJ getting the or with the Loach is his biggest surprise and one step closer to getting Jerry off the field. Hey, don't let Timmy see that. He's going to get mad. Remember, Timmy thought Jerry was going to be starting at nickel. But anyway, let's start on the offensive side of the ball, man. And obviously, no surprises with the quarterback position. Is anybody really surprised? I heard some people surprised that Trey Benson's not starting. Look, man, put some respect on Trayshawn Ward's name. I've been telling you all off season. Put some respect on his name. Benson's going to get plenty of carries and plenty of opportunities, but put some respect on Trayshawn's name. Please put some respect on it. And then the other running back, which again, it's not. I don't know why they listed at 2 running backs. Essentially, you're seeing the 4 deep depth chart at running back right here. Trayshawn, Trey, LT, and then Rodney. Again, wide receiver 1, I think, if I'm reading this right, is Micah Pittman. Not too surprised, right? Maybe a little surprised that Kentron's backing him up. But I think that's only because of Johnny. Excuse me, not Johnny. That's only because of just that Winston. Sorry, it's only because Winston Wright's not here. This wide receiver group, bro, I think is going to change every week. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to rotate a lot of guys. I think at one point you will see Malik and Johnny at wide receiver 1 and 2 and Pittman in the slot. But I think for week 1, nothing too surprising here. Maybe Deuce Spann getting the or with Ontario Wilson is a little surprising. And that they're putting him in the slot is even more surprising. I think somebody had mentioned that before, and I kind of dismissed it. But apparently they like what they have there at Deuce, and they're going to put him in the slot and see what he can do. Obviously, if Jakai's injury is a broken collarbone, which means he would probably be done for the year, that would speak to why Deuce Spann is getting a bigger role, because Jakai was really your main speed receiver, and now you need to, get another guy out there. So, I not too much surprise though. I think like the running backs with your receivers, I wouldn't worry about what the depth chart says. They're gonna rotate a ton of guys. You got a ton of guys. So I wouldn't too much worry about who's listed. Because like somebody was like, they feel bad for Keyshawn. I guarantee you Keyshawn's going to get his opportunities. Obviously, against Duquesne, he's going to get his opportunities because this shouldn't be a close game. But I think a lot of receivers are going to get a lot of burn. So there's that. Before we continue to tight ends, let's go back to the comment section. No Steven Dix. That should not shock anybody, right? Marcus says, I don't know, Polk. That game might be canceled this Saturday. It's supposed to rain heavy and lightning. I hope not. We need that game, but it doesn't surprise me. That's always the case. Early September in Florida, those games constantly get canceled and postponed. Remember Georgia Tech 2 years ago? I mean, that game was like 5 hours postponed, and it was finally played. Um, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. I hope it doesn't get canceled because we need that game. Ward Division. I guess that's a wrap for Keyshawn. I guess he's just too small. I wouldn't say that. Again, I wouldn't worry too much. Guys are going to get plenty of rotation. Ontario doesn't get by anyone on the outside. He should be out there receiver with Johnny. I agree. I've always said that. I've always said I don't have anything against Ontario. He's just not a number one. But if you put him in the slot, he might be able to do some work for you. Well, we're about to see that this year. And I do think you will get Johnny and McLean starting opposite of each other before the end of the season. Timmy says, hold up. I didn't say Jarian would start. I said, don't give up on him. Yeah, because you thought he was going to start at nickel. Or maybe I'm misremembering. I thought you were so confident in Jarian because you was like, he's going to start at nickel and then we're going to really see what he's made of. But obviously they don't even see him as a nickel back. So, but I hear you, right? I hear you. I get you like Trayshawn, but you talk about him like he's a first team running back. Benson is better talent and would be taking majority of snaps by season ends. Bucking. We're going to see. I will say this. I've seen Trayshawn Ward actually play college football and get over 6 yards a carry and 500 plus yards. Benson hasn't done that. He can be as big and fast and strong as they say. He hasn't done that. Trayshawn Ward is produced on the Division I ACC level. Benson has not produced at any level other than high school so far in his college career. So, in my opinion, Trayshawn Ward is the guy. Benson comes in and takes a spot. I ain't mad at it. By all means, I'm not mad at it. But I'm not surprised that Ward is starting the season at running back. Tate was passed by a freshman. That's why it's time to go give up on him. Kentron apparently had a good camp. How many tight ends do we have? Oh, we're not going to talk about those tight ends yet. Irv Gotti. Right, I agree, though. Carusi, the science goddess, says, I pray we absolutely destroy Duquesne by 40. We do that, and I feel pretty good. Burrell could be taking that Douglas role. Losing Douglas might hurt us later on. Ward is the all-around back. Benson's more talented. Benson does not have more talent. He can't even get his pad level down. People, they want to believe, right? We get the new toys, that new car smell, and people want to believe that Benson is this. Look, we hope Benson is all of this, but let's stop pretending like Benson's like a former 5-star running back, like all of these things. Like, okay, I am willing to eat crow on the fact that Benson is probably going to be more productive than I initially thought when we got him. But I still want to see it in a game and not 3 carries in a spring game, but actually in a live game. I would really love to see what Benson has. Stop dismissing what you already have. Trayshawn Ward ain't just some chopped liver that you just throw to the wolves. But we'll see. If it's a 10 p.m. game, I mean, I'm going to watch it, but Jesus. If it's 10 p.m., first of all, can't project the weather that far out if you know anything about Florida weather. Second of all, if they think that's going to happen, they should just move the game up. Okay. He's not a 4 or 5-star, but Ward is a walk-on. Well, but Ward was Actually, the same star ranking as Benson coming out of high school. They were both 3 stars. Yes, he was a walk-on. You're absolutely right. That's only because he turned down scholarships to come to Florida State. But Ward was actually really good in high school. He was a 3-star. Trey Benson was a 3-star. So again, that's a mute point. We're just obsessed with Benson because, again, he's just a new toy. Well, we got to see it first. But I hear you. Let's get to let's continue. Let's continue. Tight end. Cam McDonald, Wyatt Rector. Let's spend some time here. Marcus and Douglas, like, so they're doing this thing now like they're doing with the running backs. They got 2 separate tight end spots. I don't know what the purpose of this is. You would assume that one is receiving tight end, one is blocking tight end, right? But why would you even put that on a depth chart? Okay, one of the keys to tight end is that, or to a good tight end, is that they can do both, right? So the defense can't be keyed onto what you want. So obviously, from the way they're putting this depth chart out, and maybe this is why Zoe says they're playing possum with this depth chart. Maybe they're trying to pretend like, oh, well, when Douglas comes in, we're going to be running the ball. When actuality, maybe not. I just don't see it again. I got to see Marcus and Douglas actually catch a football before I believe anything of it. So I don't necessarily like or understand the 2 tight end here. The way you read it is Cam McDonald's your receiving tight end along with Wyatt Rector, and then Douglas and Jackson West and Daniels are your blocking tight ends. So when I see number 85 in the game, he's not a pass threat. That's how I read it. When I see 87 in the game, might want to pay attention to him in the passing game. Could be wrong. They could be trying to disguise some stuff or play some games, but I'll be surprised if I see Douglas doing anything other than blocking. Robert Scott and Julian Armella at left tackle. I don't really think there's any surprise there after hearing the type of impact Armella has made since getting on campus. Dylan Gibbons and Estes. Darius Washington, I think we called that last week that Darius would be your starter, so no surprise there. Maybe a little surprise that Schrader's backing him up. Maybe a little bit. Dimitri Emmanuel and Turrentine. So that's the interesting part. That's the most interesting part, I think, of this entire O-line is that Turrentine is obviously from this depth chart. He's your swing. Okay, he's the O-lineman that's going to be put to play wherever somebody goes down, maybe other than center. If Robert Scott goes down, you're probably swinging Turrentine, or at least you're slinging Bress Harris to tackle, left tackle, and putting Turrentine at the right? Gibbons goes down, you're probably swinging Turrentine over to that left guard spot. So Turrentine looks like he's your swing guy. I think Dimitri will end up getting the start, but I think you're going to see a lot of rotations with Turrentine. So that's cool. I think I had predicted Turrentine to get one of the starting spots, and he didn't quite get there, but it's no surprise that he kind of turned into your swing guy. I mean, he's 6'7", 330. And then at right tackle, Bless Harris and Lloyd Willis. Look how much weight Lloyd. At this time last year, Lloyd was listed at 6'7", like 320. So you can see the transformation that Lloyd Willis is going through. But again, don't think too much surprise they're on that offensive line. I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees. Yeah, I mean, I think that's about as good as it gets. Maybe Thomas Schrader. That's maybe the only one where I'm like, how long does he really last as your backup? And how long before maybe we see another freshman crack the 2 deep? So before we get to defense, we'll start. We'll stop here and see what y'all talking about. What's up, sir? What's up, Jeffrey? What? Polk, don't forget this is the participation trophy generation. If they don't do a double starter list, man, if we doing it for Marcus and Douglas, bro, then he can go on ahead and train. Like, we doing a double starter list for Marcus and Douglas? Bye. See ya. Deuces. Bump the participation trophy crap. See you later, homie. Kind of question is that? I absolutely did. Absolutely did. But thank you, New King. I peeped Duquesne depth chart. We gonna you jumping the gun, Kusami. We gonna go over there. Not yet though. I mean, he is starting. Johnny's your other outside receiver. Well, at least him or Malik. Now, again, y'all just relax on the wide receiver stuff, guys. They're gonna rotate plenty of guys. There he is. Yeah, y'all saw him coming here. Want to bother me? All right. Defense. Y'all didn't have too much to say about the O line, so it's a little surprising. But I guess, offense is pretty. I mean, that offense is pretty penciled in, right? It's pretty standard. Again, if you want to nitpick at the receivers, Johnny's not wide receiver 1. Okay, he's still wide receiver 2. Or at least Malik is. And again, they're going to rotate plenty. And you're probably going to have situations where Malik and Johnny are on the field at the same time. And then you move Mike in the slot. I mean, I wouldn't worry about too much of any of that wide receiver room. Going to be fine. Defensively, I also called Derek McClendon getting the nod over Jarrett Verse. Again, by midseason, that may change. Also, don't worry about it. They're going to rotate plenty. You're probably also going to see situations where Briggs moves inside and you get Verse and McClendon on as bookends. Like, I wouldn't worry too much, but I did tell y'all that I thought McClendon would start over Jerry at Verse, at least to begin the season. So to me, that's not a surprise. I think some people may have been surprised by that. Fabian Love and Cooper, of course, no one's surprised by those two. I don't think no one's surprised by the backups. Of course, maybe a little surprising is Leonard Warner. Yeah, probably. Let's hope Patrick Payton can beat out Leonard Warner. But who knows, man? Maybe Leonard Warner got it together. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. Move to the linebackers. I do think you can circle Lundy and Deloach as a bit of a surprise here. How much has that weight loss really affected DJ Lundy? Kalen Deloach came on last year. By the end of the season, he was a completely different linebacker than we had seen. You're trying to tell me Lundy has at his best hasn't shown that he was as good as Kalen Deloach was by the end of last year. So to have them at a or is a bit surprising to me. I got to see it. I got to see Lundy in person, or at least I got to see it. I got to see him on the field, see if he's playing any different. I know they said he shed the weight and looks a lot better, but I got to see if he's on Kalen DeLoach's level, first of all. And, of course, Bethune and Gaynor, not too much of a surprise there. I'm a little surprised, actually, that it's not Gaynor backing up DeLoach and Lundy backing up Bethune. So that's a bit interesting, even in that. It's kind of who they consider what linebacker. But if you notice, they don't have any of the linebackers labeled. They're just labeled linebackers. So they're not labeled weak side or Mike. Take from that what you will. Nickel, Kevin Knowles and Greedy Vance, no surprise there. Omarion Cooper, backed up by AZ and Sam. No surprise there. Dent, no surprise there. I think everything else is pretty much the standard. I'm a little surprised to see Shaheem Brown here over Sydney. Probably Sydney's still, rehabbing his injury from last year. So little surprised to see Shaheem over Sydney, but we talked about it before. We're like 4 or 5 deep at safety, so we should be all right there. And then Ronaldo, Green, and Jerry. And so you want to take away the glaring miss from the secondary, obviously, is Travis J. No Travis J, right? What does that mean? Not too sure. Where was he really going to play, though? Not too sure. What are y'all thinking, man? I'm not surprised about Travis J. I still think they should move him. Personally, I think they should move him to offense. I was saying that by the end of last year. I don't know if you think he's a receiver. I don't know if they needed a running back, but they chose Burrell instead. I don't think his reaction time is good enough to be a corner, and I don't think he's physical enough to be a safety. So I don't know, man. I don't know. What y'all got in the comments? Yeah, I'm surprised Johnny Wilson not the starter as much as Warchant has been hyping him. You going to any? What's up? Kusami with the 199 says you going to any games this season? Probably not. Yes, I am in Texas now, so maybe in the future, but just my schedule, bro. It's hard to try to get off a game. But appreciate the 199.
Yeah, get more money, more money. Yeah, get more money. Yeah, get more money, more money. Yeah, get more money, more money. Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, they gotta chill out. Like, let's see Johnny play first before we start going off the deep end. Do you think we finally get a punt return or kickoff return for a touchdown this season? I hope so. I'm gonna say Sam takes one back this year. I don't like Warner over Peyton. Malik, Wilson, and Pittman will be deadly. Wish Quayshawn would have stayed. I hear you. He would have been good for depth. I think AZ and Sam are behind. I like that AZ and Sam are behind Duke. Wilson goes deep, Malik goes in the middle, and Pittman takes the underneath. Apparently, Travis J might just need to go G5 or over to offense. Gainer never lived up to expectations. There's a lot of carries to go around. Ride the hot hand. Travis J would be perfect in a Wildcat package, but that's just me. Shaheem gonna be a problem. Jay should have transferred during the offseason. I still don't see anything about Chambry. Not that KB didn't drop balls too, but KB is a natty winning receiver. That's because of his quarterback. Is the Hennessy Pure White any better than the regular Henny? It's stronger. So I'll say that it's stronger. I think Deuce will return to kickoff. Two. Come on, man. Stop. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's your pick. 2. Deuce is going to return 2. I mean, that'd be something. So that's the depth chart. Again, to me, not really any surprises, not really anything to be shocked about. Again, the Marcus and Douglas thing's interesting, but I don't buy into any of that. You'll obviously see him during Duquesne, but or do we really think we're going to see Marcus and Douglas against LSU? Heck no. There were some other ones. I mean, that's probably the only thing to me that I would really address. You got the Lundy Deloach kind of thing. Wouldn't be too worried about that. I think Deloach gets the nod. The wide receiver room, like I said, man, they're gonna be rotate. I think that depth chart probably changes week in and week out. Wouldn't be too worried about that. Wire a running back, wouldn't be too worried about who's really the starter there. And then Turntine, obviously being your swing O lineman, I think that's a good look. And then your secondary. I mean, notice, people talk a lot about Jay and Demore Tate. I don't know why all of a sudden we think Demore Tate's just gonna emerge from the sea, like the Kraken or something. Like it's 3 years into the program and he's never done anything or cracked any rotation. I don't expect it to happen, unfortunately. I think a player that you might be interested going forward is the JSU transfer, Malik Feaster, I think is his name. I mean, you brought him in. He is a redshirt senior. He's a grad transfer. So it's going to be interesting to see is he simply just a depth piece? Like Jerry and Jones better get it together. I can see somebody taking that second spot behind Ronaldo. What if Ronaldo Green isn't as good as we anticipate? Do you really want to see number 7 out there, or do you start throwing some other guys out there? So those are some things that are a little interesting to watch going forward. But yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about anything as of right now, obviously. I hope so. Is Darius? If Darius does consider what is Maurice? Hey, so our Davis brings us an interesting question, and that's an interesting point that we should address. I actually think, and I never want to say an injury is a good thing, but I actually think this injury to Maurice and Caden could be a blessing in disguise. I think Darius is going to do extremely well at center for us. To the point where Maurice, I don't know if you ever get that job back, buddy. I don't know if you ever get that job back. Right? But I'm expecting some good things from Darius. The reason I put it back up here because I want to see Darius as a redshirt sophomore. And Darius has literally, since he's been at Florida State for the last 3 years, obviously the COVID year was a free year, the man's played every single position on the offensive line. Every single position. Like, hold on, guys. Johnny should be starting for his PFF blocking grade alone. Ardavius Hall, he will be a backup player on the depth chart. Maurice is a good player. I think he deserves to be a starting 5 somewhere. Well, you know what, Ardavius? Maybe. I do think Maurice is a good player. I actually agree with you. But I want you to notice something about this offensive line that you couldn't say in years past. I want you to look at this offensive line. Where's the player that's under 300 pounds? They're not on there, right? 334, 327, 336, 300, 308. I mean, Maurice got to get his weight up. He can be a good player, but it's obviously they're looking for a certain type of. For instance, same thing with the DBs. If you look at the type of DBs they're recruiting, and if you look at the type of DBs that's on this depth chart, outside of nickel, A lot of these dudes are long, man. Marion Cooper, 6 foot. Then the guys backing him up, 6'2", 6'1". Go look at the type of guys they're recruiting. They're recruiting 6'1", 6'2". Jamie, 5'11", okay, but he plays free safety. But look who's backing him up. Shaheem at 6'2". Both Ronaldo and Jerry and both 6 foot and long arms and rangy, right? They're doing the same thing on the offensive line. They're recruiting certain body types. I don't know if Maurice Smith, remember Maurice was brought in by the last coaching staff. I don't know if Maurice Smith fits Atkins' vision of an offensive. Look at who Atkins recruited this past year. I mean, just look at the guys. Jalen Early, Julian Armella, Quayshawn Sapp, Kanaya Charlton. Man, these are massive human beings. They only recruited 2 O-linemen under 300, and that's Dontre Richardson, who has the frame, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to try to get him up over 300. And Tavius Woody, who's like 290. We'll see. I really wanted to see Lloyd, crack the starting, but we'll see. We'll see about Lloyd. Has our backup quarterback improved enough at this point to keep the team steady during trade? That's a question that I don't have an answer for. Hopefully we don't have to find out. We don't have to find out. So let's check out, man. That's our depth chart. And overall, I think Florida State fans, y'all feel good about the depth chart. I do. Again, not too much surprises. There's not much on the depth chart that concerned me or shocked me or surprised me. It's about what most people expected. But I want to look at Duquesne's depth chart. And we're going to start with, we'll start with the offense here. Again, I'm not going to pretend to know any of these players because I don't. I've never watched a Duquesne game, obviously, and they're not recruiting necessarily top guys out of high school. So I've never heard of any of these guys. But let's just look at some of these players. Their left tackle is 6'4", 295. His backup is 6'2", 280. The left guard is 6'3", 300. His backup is 6'2", 280. The centers might be Maurice Smith's brother at center right there. Both of them, actually. They might all be related to Maurice. The guard, 285. His backup, 280. The right tackle, 6'3", 290. I really don't even need to go on after looking at what I'm talking about here, guys. If our defensive line is anything that any of us believe, a lot of us believe that we have a very good defensive line, especially in the middle. Obviously, we lose some top talent at the edge, even though Verse and D-Mac and Briggs, I think, are still very good. But Coop and Fabian Lovett should be at an all-you-can-eat buffet come Saturday. D-Mac and Briggs and Verse also should be at an all-you-can-eat buffet come Saturday. Come Saturday, our defensive line should absolutely dominate the trenches. There is one dude that cracks 300 pounds. Do I have to put up our depth chart again? Let's do it. Just so you see that in the middle alone, Coop's 338 and Fabian's 318 with 300 backing him up, 285 and 304. Briggs alone is 280. Briggs alone is almost bigger than every offensive lineman they got. And D-Mac and Verse. I mean, look, I get it. Sizes and everything. It's all about the dog and the fight, not the fight and the dog and all that good stuff. Offensively, we should absolutely dominate this team. Defensively, absolutely dominate the trenches. Then you go to tight end. Again, don't know what to make of that. But then you go to wide receiver. They got some decent size at receiver with a 6'3", 215 guy and a 6'3", 170 guy, and a 6'4", 190 guy. They got some length at receiver. A solid, running back that's decent in size. Quarterback looks a little undersized, maybe, but maybe not too different. Maybe he's a scrambler type. The skill positions, it is what it is. But those trenches, man. Those trenches. I'll be honest with you. If we don't dominate the trenches, and I don't really care about the sack numbers. Sack numbers is going to be cool, but that's not how you gauge dominating the trenches. I mean, how many blowing up plays before they even start? Forcing the quarterback off his read from the jump. I mean, these type of things. I will be concerned if we aren't getting any type of penetration or anything come Saturday. I think that's where Sam will finish his career, Jamal. You guys want everyone to transfer, but look at the injuries we already have, and we haven't played a game yet. Who do they want transfer out? What's going on in the squad? Let's go to their defense. Let's check out Duquesne's defense. DNs. So they are running, obviously they're running a 3-4. That's without me even looking at the rest of the depth chart. Anytime I see a DN at 6'5", 310, you're playing the 3-4. So their D-line looks pretty decent. Their defensive line looks up to snuff. Now their backups take a huge nosedive after A.J. Ackerman. Bam, number 6 is nosedive. Maxie, I don't know, Hardensey. I want to say that's too big of a nosedive there. And then, Ryan Lopez, Nathan Proctor Jr. The starting defensive line, it is a 3-4 though. And again, I think we match up with those guys. Now, outside linebacker, 5'10", 240. I don't think he probably moves well. They probably rush him off the edge. I shouldn't be too worried about Todd Hill. Their defensive front 7 looks adequate. I mean, they got a 6'2", 230 linebacker. Both inside backers are decent size. They're not oversized, so that means they probably can run a little bit. But then I go to that secondary. They have a starting corner called Ryan Webb, who is 5'9", 170. They have the whole secondary is under 6 foot with the exception of Tim Lowry. And he's only 170 pounds. Story short, we talked about how our defensive line should dominate. Our wide receivers, if they can't get separation against this secondary, there's a problem. There's a major problem. I'm not saying Travis should throw for 5,000 yards, but somebody should throw for something. Somebody should throw for something. Secondary's pretty undersized, if you ask me. And last time I checked, we got a 6'4" receiver, a 6'7" receiver, another 6'4" receiver, another 6'4" receiver. Yeah, so we should be okay there. And even our smaller guys should be better athletes than theirs. So ultimately, man, this game boils down to what we already knew, though. There's no real reason to speculate on it. I told you last week I'm looking past this game and we looking towards LSU. Because honestly, this game really shouldn't be competitive. What do you guys think? What are you guys' score predictions? I mean, do you see anything on that Duquesne roster that catches your attention? Because I do not. What do you guys think? I'll let y'all answer. Give me a score prediction. Me personally, I I would be. I am going to go. What did we put up on? What did we put up on UMass last year? I actually think this team would probably beat UMass. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 49. No, I take that back. 52-3. I think we sneak a field goal in there somewhere. 52-3 for me. Again, you look at our defensive line, they shouldn't move the ball on us. Tyler said 17. If we're giving up 17 to this team, I think there's an issue. Even our second stringers should be able to beat up that offensive line, their starters. The Joshua Farmers, Jarrett Jackson, and Malcolm Ray, Patrick Payton, and those guys. We beat UMass 59-3. Okay, so I'm going with one less touchdown. 52-3 for me. 52-3. That is my prediction. If we give up 17, I am worried. If we give up 17, I think that's grounds for Adam Fuller to be fired on the spot. Seriously. I get it, but the way your defensive line should dominate, and if our secondary, and we got a safety that's an preseason All-American. You trying to tell me we got a preseason All-American? You trying to tell me we got a dominant defensive line? I don't want to hear hiccups. No, it's time the hiccups should be ironed out in year 3. There shouldn't be any more broken coverages. Because the excuse in year 1 and 2 was, well, guys were still learning the system, though they didn't get a spring camp because of COVID and this and that. No. Year 3, the hiccups, the wrinkles should be ironed out. If you got hiccups, you better hold your breath until they go away. Shouldn't be no hiccups. What's up, CJ, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, CJ. How you been? What's up, man? Hold on. 39-6. The only way to me, 39-6 would be acceptable. And I'm gonna play the scenario out for y'all. Is that it's 39-0 at halftime, and you put in Tate Rodemaker after half, and he's just about as god awful as we think. And then so you're playing some more of AJ Duffy, and because of that, you're not really doing much on offense because you're playing Duffy and Rodemaker and Rodney Hill and Thomas Schrader and Estes and Lloyd Wood. You're really digging deep on that offensive depth chart. I can accept that. And even then, I'll be like, man, maybe we're not as deep as we thought. But that's even a stretch, 39-6. My dog say, what if a halftime score is that 9-3 in prediction I threw out there last year? Man, you can cancel Christmas if it's 21-24 at halftime. You can cancel Christmas on Akeem Williams. You can cancel Christmas on Mike Norvell. You can cancel Christmas on you name it. All got flushed down the toilet. I don't care if you score 35 points in the second half. Heck no. On the spot. What's up, Terrell? Mike Norvell has all the hiccups he can give, and FSU fans can tell you, ain't no more hiccups, bro. I hear you. Look, I'm trying to give you a scenario, but I hear you. That score is definitely not that 39-6. I agree. That's it's not acceptable. But I'm just trying to paint a picture for you, of how maybe you could get there while still kind of saying, well, your starters were dominant. You feel me? So I'm just kind of trying to paint a picture. That's all. How much are those two LSU players being off the team will affect the game? Which two players? I think their running back is going to be out, right? I think something about their running back. Who else? I haven't really been keeping up with LSU, to be honest with you. If AJ throws an interception in this game, I hope y'all don't overreact. I mean, no reason to overreact.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night.
I love you.
Love you too. Man, they not scoring in the 60s. Why not? They scored 59 against UMass. It's possible. Tell them, CV. My problem with that, Jay, is whose spot is he taking? Um, 56-14. We should easily break 40 points and keep Dukes to single digits. The backups will do well. QB, running back, and wide receiver out versus us. What QB? I thought Daniels was starting for them. I know about the running back. I did see something about that DB. Hold on. Three things I want to see in the Duquesne game is pretty simple. Dominate both lines of scrimmage. Stay injury free. And that third thing, man, I could list probably a few things for the third thing. But ultimately, like I said, dominate line of scrimmage, stay injury free. And I guess for that third thing, it would have to be a combination of the quarterback actually playing like a quarterback and receivers actually able to get separation against a secondary that they should be able to dominate. So that's kind of my thing. Okay, yeah, but he doesn't count because he wasn't getting the start anyway. Like we can't be like, oh, they're down to QB. Yeah. They're down a guy who wasn't going to play, so it really doesn't matter. One of LSU run backs. I know about the running back, and I know about the defensive back. No drop passes is a good one, right? You don't want to see any drop passes. I just want to see separation. I mean, the catches should come. Can you actually get separation? Can Jordan Travis actually sit in the pocket? Again, my offensive line should dominate. My defensive line should dominate. Is Jordan Travis actually able to sit in the pocket and deliver throws on time and accurately? I'll be interested to watch that. Again, I don't think there's a ton you're going to be able to take from this game. But there's little things that you can kind of pick up on. You should be able to watch a quarter or two of this game and see a drastically different team. How long should the starters play? Till halftime. There's no reason they should be playing after that. The last thing you want, again, because this game should be over by half. Again, this thing should be 35-0 or something like that at half. So the last thing you want is Robert Scott getting the ankle rolled up on, and now he's missing LSU. Like, that's the last thing you need. Play him to half. Sit them out. This is how the game should go. All offensive scores should come through the air or by running backs. JT should not be running for TDs. I don't necessarily have a problem with JT running for TDs because that's part of his game. And I know we want to really see him be a passer, but I don't know if he's ever going to be the passer that we want. But I understand where you're coming from, right? He shouldn't have to run for TDs against Duquesne. So I kind of understand where you're coming from. But it won't bother me personally. Duquesne shouldn't score more than 10. And I agree with that. Again, I don't think we should be giving up. I don't think they should be cracking 200 yards of offense on us. So we'll see how that plays out. Kevin, what's going on? He said it was good. Not sure if you answered this already, but if we lose the first game, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Anybody want to answer Kevin's question for him? If Mike Norvell finds a way to lose to Duquesne, is it a wrap? I think that is I think that goes without saying. Better special teams play. I hear that. Basically, the game should be over at half. Running clock, second half. No slow start. No punts that roll 30. What are you doing? People act like JT's rushing TDs don't count. I understand what he's trying to say, Tyler. I don't think he's saying I don't understand. I understand what he's trying to say. But again, I think that's a part of his game. So again, they don't bother me. 6 is 6. DB running back, super suspended, nobody else. That's his last game. Yeah. TCU beat them 45-3 last year. Anything less than it's crazy. Okay. And then Terrell says he fired at the right moment in the locker room. Just pack, bro. For real. No, seriously though, if you lose to Duquesne, don't even go to the locker room, bro. Go straight to your car. Like, go straight from the field. Wave to everybody in the parking lot. They might try to fight you if you lose to Duquesne. So actually, it probably would be better for you to just sit on the sideline, bro. Because if I'm Mike Alford, his office is already locked and empty. Okay, so there's no point in you going to your office. Just sit on the bench, on the sideline, and think about your life. I would advise you to not walk to your car because you're probably gonna get jumped in the parking lot. So just sit there. You'll be protected. Wait till everybody goes home. That might be 2-3 in the morning. Wait till everybody's gone home. Sneak to your car. Drive to Arizona or back to Memphis, wherever, and just never look in the rearview mirror and just never come back. That's what you do if you lose to Duquesne, Mike. Just disappear. Just disappear. If Mike lose, they will still make excuses for him. They say 7 games is a good season for FSU. Never heard no cap like that in my life. Here since I hear you, Corey. You know me. 7 don't get us nothing. 7 don't do nothing for us. I mean, I'll take it if I have to. I just don't think you really do anything with 7 wins. 8's the floor for me. But again, I say we going 9-3. And that ain't got nothing to do with Mike. It's just what I think the program needs. So it's probably a pipe dream for me. But I'm going to stick with it. I hear you. I think we crushing them too. But, I mean, somebody asked a question, so I got to answer them. We should have 5 off plays, all TDs. This is the first quarter. Get everyone out. Play the backups after that. I would say play them more than a quarter. Even if we somehow, ran it up in the first, I would play them at least till half. You still got to get them. You still need that game to get work some stuff in for LSU. You feel me? Like, I know, we're going to score 100 points in the first quarter and sit them out. Yeah, but no, right? No. Even if, let's say they score 28 points in the first quarter, you still play them in the second quarter. You still play your starters. I would say rotate your second string guys in a little bit more routinely, but still play your starters because there's still things that you're going to work on. You're not going to put anything crazy on tape for LSU, but there's still things you're going to work. There's still things you're going to work in for LSU against Duquesne. It's not even in garbage. Like, no, it's not in garbage. It's already in the dumpster. Like, it's not even in garbage bags. Like, his stuff will be already in the dumpster. I would take 7 if I have to. I still don't think 7 gains you any real momentum, though, is my problem, Marcus. And here's the thing. I know people talk about, oh, no, they can win 8 with a bowl. No. You need 8 regular season wins. I'm going to tell you why. The early signing period. These classes are signed, sealed, and delivered before you even play a bowl game. The kids don't care about the bowl game. The kids don't care about the bowl game. Not the kids that you're targeting. The 24 kids might care about the bowl game. Maybe. I'm talking about 23. I'm talking about Jordan Hall. I'm talking about closing strong on 23 because we need to. Them kids don't care about that bowl game. They already gonna be signed, sealed, and delivered to whatever school they go into. Bowl game's not gonna matter. No, POLK probably run the SWAT truck and drive it. They dropping out the stadium just to run to it. We need to upgrade the coaching staff. I feel we're too traditional. We need new look at the U and JSU, especially wide receiver, running back, tight end. Okay, I was trying to understand what you were saying because you threw me off when you said we need a new look. I thought you called us the U for a second, so I had to really pause there. What you're saying is we need a new blood, comma, look at it. I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi, but honestly, you just threw me off a little bit. Look at the U and JSU is what you were trying to say. Got you. Yes, we do. No, you good, man. You good. I just took me a little bit because I almost thought you called us the U, and I was like, what? Got you. I got you. And you're right. The problem is we can't get no new blood if we going 7-5 or 6-6 because guess what? No coach is gonna leave their job to come work here when Mike's probably gone, right? You gotta win 8+, man. This you guys don't realize. I'm not just saying 8-9 wins because I'm trying to stack the deck against Mike and I'm trying to make no. I'm saying it because that's what the program needs. In year 3, the program needs 8-9. In year 3, they need it. They need it because you go 6-6 if you want to, you're dead in the water. You might as well pack your bags up. 7-5 is not too much better. With the number of victories, if we want those 5-star players, then 9-3 is a real chance going 10-3. Yeah, that's just the truth of it. And I don't know why Florida State fans think that this stuff is impossible. You realize Mel Tucker won 2 games and then went 10 games after winning only 2 games his first season? And he ain't the only one. I know people are probably tired of me bringing up all those other coaches around the country who were able to turn their teams around in the same time span, but okay, year 3, 8-9 wins shouldn't really be asking too much at a school like Florida State. And I agree, Tyler. No one cares if you win the Gator Bowl. No one cares if you win the Meineke Car Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl. No one cares, bro. Nobody cares. And that's the kind of bowl you're in if you're going 7-5 or 6-6. So I agree with that. Nobody cares if you win the Gator Bowl. Go win the Sugar Bowl, maybe, go win the Rose Bowl. Go play in the playoff. We can have something to talk about, but no one cares if you win the Gator Bowl. That's my point. Your bowl games are already your bowl games are gonna the kids are already gonna be signed by the time their bowl games get played. They hope these boys are ready for the trick plays, fake punch, etc. I see an article about Duquesne player. Well, of course, Duquesne's gonna pull out all the stops. Obviously. And even all of that, they still shouldn't be able to do. Stay disciplined, man. You don't have to compensate for anything because none of these kids should be better athletes. So you shouldn't have to compensate for nothing. Probably zero, if I'm being honest. I don't think Dion ever coaches here. What will be crazier prediction as a record? Mine would be 10-2. I mean, if I was a crazy, I mean, I think 9-3 is fairly pretty crazy. If I'm being honest with you, my 9-3 is pretty crazy, ain't it? Anything better than that, and oof, I think my 9-3 is pretty crazy. But yeah, man. I mean, that's about all we really need to talk about. We went over the depth chart. Nothing too crazy on that depth chart, in my opinion. Pretty standard. A few things that kind of raise your eyebrows a little bit, but nothing too crazy. You looked at Duquesne's depth chart, and they're small against what may be our strengths. You know, like people are talking about our wide receiver room is taking this drastic leap. Well, that secondary is tiny. Should have at least 7-5 with the chance of being 8-5 last year with the bowl win. You know what I said last year? Last year we were a 6-6 team with a chance to be a 7-5 team if you could have pulled off the Florida game or the Clemson game. But we were a 6-6 team last year, which is why 7-5 to me isn't acceptable. These past 5 years have been so crazy. It's jacked up many of our fan base to think that 6 or 7 wins is okay. It's not. I'm sorry. The thing that really kills me about it, though, VJ, is the people that are saying 6-6 and 7-5. They're Mike Norvell's most big time supporters. Again, I don't understand the logic of. I think we have the best safety tandem in the country, or at least in the ACC. Top 20 defense, maybe. Quarterback drastically improved. Receiver room drastically improved. Potential 1,000-yard rusher. But we're 7-5? How does that add up? How does that add up? If you believe all those things that you people have said this entire off season, if you believe all of those things, that this team is so much improved in so many areas, why is 7-5 your prediction? What are you scared of? Why are you scared to predict 9? I don't believe half of that stuff, and I'm telling you what this team needs. That's why I'm predicting it. I'm trying to speak it into existence. 9-3 is what you need. Do we get it? Well, we'll see. But I don't understand why the people that actually think this team is so improved then hedge their bets and go, well, 7-5. To me, don't sound like you believe in the guy that you claim you believe in. So we'll see. We'll see there. There shouldn't be. And then again, y'all keep killing me with this hiccup word. There shouldn't be no hiccups in year 3. You had hiccups in year 1 and 2. Shouldn't be no hiccups. Better drink some ginger ale or something. Stop the hiccups. Blow into a paper bag. Ain't that like a remedy for hiccups? I don't want to hear about no hiccups. So you are correct and about accurate with 9-3 with the chance of being 10-3 in the bowl. We have lost touch with the standards. You say whistling past the graveyard. I think we go 8-4, but that might be pushing it. I mean, I hear you, bro. We didn't a $20 million buyout to be okay with 6 and 7 wins. No less. 8 is acceptable. If he's ACC Coach of the Year, then there's no way he's 7-5. That's all I'm gonna say. If he's ACC Coach of the Year, there's no way he's 7-5. If he's ACC Coach of the Year, there's no way he's 8-4. So we'll see. Because some fans see a few teams with a pulse on our schedule and count them as auto L's. And if that's the case, then you can't believe in your coach. You can't. Last time I checked, I don't care if NC State has a pulse. We supposed to have a pulse too. Go out there and win football games. I don't disagree. JT's definitely got to stay healthy. He's definitely got to stay healthy. If he gets injured, all predictions go out the window. You feel me? I don't know if people have gotten comfortable with it. I don't know. I think my opinion is people make excuses for a coach that they want to be good. They want to root for. If I'm being honest with you. You know me, I don't make excuses for nobody. I didn't make excuses for Willie. I ain't making excuses for Mike, and I ain't about to make it a Willie-Mike conversation. The point is, people claim to be fans of a program, and you actually see that people are more fans of a coach, right? And that's on both sides of the coin. People claim they love a program, but they really love a coach. No reason why in year 3, any rational Florida State fan should be okay with 6 or 7 wins. Now, if you honestly believe that we're a 6 and 7 win team, because you don't think, like, it's one thing if you don't think the team's talented. You feel me? Like if you don't think the team is talented, and you go, bro, I only see 6 wins because I just don't see a talented team. Okay, I'm with you, but these aren't the people I'm talking about. I'm kind of getting off topic here, but we're gonna finish with this little rant. These aren't the people I'm addressing. Like, if you look at that team and you go, you know what? I still don't think the O-line is going to be any good. That defensive ends, losing Jermaine and Kira, are going to be detrimental to the entire defense as a whole. I don't think this defense is going to be as good as we think. Still not sold on Jordan Travis. Still not. Like, if you look at the team and legitimately say those things, I'm absolutely okay with a 7-5, 6-6 prediction. I have no issue with you. The people I have an issue with are the people that are saying the opposite. Oh, man, Jordan Travis finna throw for 3,000 yards. I think this man's the next Justin Herbert. Johnny Wilson's the next Kelvin Benjamin. Trey Benson is the next Cam Akers. This is the best O-line we've had since 2013. We got potential top 20 defense. Jamie Robinson's an All-American. Akeem Dent ain't too far behind. If you're saying all those things, but then you turn around and go, yeah, but you know what? I think a 7-5 season is acceptable for Mike. If you just get us a 7-5 and we can start building this thing in the right way. If you say all of that and then you say 7-5, man, get out of here. You don't really believe what you're saying. You don't really believe what you're saying. And I will end with that and read these last few comments and get up out of here. The last time we had a winning season was 17, and we only went 7-6, and that's when we had our national championship coach. Seeing how our O-line holds up would be interesting. I'm not worried about Darius. Not comfortable. We are in rebuild mode. If we change coaches again, we will start recruiting 2 stars again. Well, we're recruiting 2 stars right now, Raymond. I'm sorry. Let's not kid ourselves. If you don't believe me, I do highlight breakdowns on this channel, and I've done, I'll tell you, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highlight breakdowns. I ain't hit a 4-star yet. I ain't hit a guy ranked in the top 400 yet. I've done like 3 players that's in the top 800. So let's not pretend like we're recruiting a bunch of 5 stars right now. We're recruiting a bunch of 2 stars already, 3 stars already. So let's stop the madness. Let's stop the madness. Holding on to Mike just because don't do anything for us. And in year 3, we shouldn't be in rebuild mode. See, a lot of those things I don't agree with. Year 1, rebuild. Year 2, okay, rebuild. Year 3, we still in rebuild? Well, damn. What are we building? We rebuilding the World Trade Center? We building the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China? How long we need the damn rebuild? Don't rock. I can't get on board with that. None of that. I don't know, bro. I don't know. What do you think everybody's head was? Pissed off. We went from Jimbo was winning like 10 games a year to 7-6 in the blink of an eye. The overachieving group. I'll go tight end to overachieve because the bar is so low at tight end, they have no choice but to overachieve. Underachieve. So I don't want to say this, but if there's a group that might underachieve, your secondary. I hope not. But if I had to pick, I say your secondary. Yeah, if all those things happen, I will top 20 defense, 1,000-yard rusher, 3,000-yard passer. If all those things happen, you absolutely right. I ain't got nothing that bad to say about this coaching staff. Nothing. You're also not going to see me say that we're going 7-5 though. Well, they're already putting that out there. Well, they go 7-5, man. We're going in the right direction. Every show. I didn't see that. What's his name? Yeah, I'm gonna do one for the rest of the week. So the next one should be Jabril Rawls. Yeah, that's another 3-star, by the way, for the person that was like, oh, we start recruiting 2-stars again. But anyway, I'll be doing Jabril Rawls next. That should be the next one we do. He looked pretty good. I saw him. A&M is not Florida State, bro. Like, I know you like to make these comparisons. A&M hasn't won anything since World War II. Okay? They're not Florida State. Florida State doesn't need 5 years. By the way, if you really want to do that, how many games has Jimbo won a season in those 5 years? Has he won any less than 8 games in those 5 years? I mean, hell, I'll take that. If Mike was winning 8 games a year, I wouldn't have nothing to say. I wouldn't have shit to say. I got faith. I have faith. Like I said, we going 9-3. I'm the one with the faith. I'm asking, where's the faith from everybody else? But I got faith. 9-3. Every show. Those are the highest guys we got. So I go in order. So I'm starting with the low guys and we'll finish on the high guys. So they'll be later on. Yes, I haven't done those guys yet, though. My point was we have more 3-stars than we have blue chip recruits. And, we've been kind of doing that lately. It's the truth. They haven't won anything since World War II. It's the truth. Hulu. Had to get rid of cable. Too expensive. Got Hulu. On average 8, but they bought in Jimbo to win. No, I agree. They bought in Jimbo to win championships. But again, it's Texas A&M. And I'm definitely going to finish on this. There are programs around the country that they have a limit. Okay? They're just always going to be what they are. It's not a coaching thing with Texas A&M. It's who they are. There's a reason you haven't won anything since 1940 or whatever, or 39 or whatever it was. You think it's money? No, they've always had the money. You think it's coaching? They can go get any coach they want. It's Texas A&M. It's who they are. It's in their. It's embroiled in their DNA. You go to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin can be the greatest coach he wants to be. He's never going to win anything at Ole Miss. I guarantee you. Right? There are just programs around the country that you're not. I don't care how good you are. You're not going to be that. So I understand why he was brought in. I understand why A&M broke the bank. But it ain't got nothing to do with Jimbo as a coach. Y'all like to sell out Jimbo, but defend Mike Norvell. That's so wild to me. You're going to sell out the coach that actually won you a national championship here. Won like 10 games a year. Never did not go to a New Year's Six Bowl except for the last year, maybe his first year coaching. Y'all say he's garbage, but then say, well, Mike's building a dynasty. Y'all finna make me go a whole nother hour, and I promise you I'm not gonna do it. That's all I'm gonna do. That is a whole different conversation for another day that I don't even want to get into. The point is 9-3, get this shit done. That's all I got tonight, guys. Hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. No, he ran the TAMU for 90 mil or whatever it is. What are you talking about? You see the bag? But anyway, man. Anyway, I'm out. You guys have a good rest of your night. It's Tuesday. This week gonna get a little hectic for me, so I don't know if y'all will see me again, but we'll try to do something again before the game. If not, y'all will definitely see me Saturday night because we'll be talking about the game. As always, stay classy, Seminoles. It's your boy POLK over here on 863 Seminole TV. 9-3. All right. 9-3. And we got you. Go Noles.